Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, children. Today Snehal is missing. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Anjali beta, from which school have you come?
Ma'am, childcare Bishop Pandit School, Harunagla, Bareilly.
Acha, okay. You come from Bishop Care. Okay, fine. Very good. So, what about your previous work? Have you received some material from the teachers or not yet?
Yes, ma'am.
You got it from?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I've asked Anushri. She has sent me the work.
Fine. And the previous videos and all for economics, have you got?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me know if there's any problem. Just drop a personal message to me. So
Okay,
I'll
ma'am.
be able to help you. I'll speak to sir also. I'll tell him if he can send the links of his videos to you. Similarly, you can go back on the group. I'll collect some old videos and I'll send it to you for history as well. Today, Anushri is missing. Beta, we've completed 2 chapters. I had started the 3rd chapter yesterday, but yesterday, Anushri, you were not there. Snehal and Keshav were there. So we have started with the 3rd chapter. Your 2nd chapter notes are not yet run.
Ma'am, I'm doing the notes. Ma'am, it is completing.
Okay, complete and send like the first one. 2nd chapter notes, I'll forward it to both of you. Don't worry. After you finish, I want you to do, then I'll also send you. Yes. We have started with the 3rd chapter yesterday, but both of you were not there. You will not be able to understand like this. So I'll have to start again with you today. I'll just explain it to you, then I'll give you time to read and then we'll discuss the question answers from this. Okay, Vida? After we had the establishment of Mesopotamia, we talked about Mesopotamia city, that after this, we saw Mesopotamia was a small place. After this, we saw that there was a struggle for making strong empires. Now it was not that people are satisfied with the small cities. They wanted to make big, great empires. So in this chapter, we have read about how great empires were made, how Islamic culture started basically. How did Islam come? And it was spread to other cities and other places. Till here, we had done yesterday. Let me tell you. We had talked about this mosque. Can you see this huge mosque?
Yes, ma'am.
So this shows how Muslim culture came and it was spreading all over Islamic culture as a blend. This is what we had done. Okay, till here. Yes, Nehal. We had done this. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you identify this? What was this?
Ma'am, this was the ruins of a city in Athens.
Very
Greek
good.
city called Corinth.
Yes, right. Greek city, ruins of a Greek city called Corinth. And this was what?
Ma'am, the Great Mosque. This proves that Persian and Islamic culture was mixed.
Yes, Peter. So we talked about 4 different languages which were spoken. Just a little background for these 2 new girls. Children, we are starting from a place where Islamic culture has already started and 4 common languages were being used that time: Persian, Greek, Latin, and Arabic. Name the languages which were very prevalent those days.
Persian, Greek, Latin, and Arabic.
Yes.
Another.
And 2 religions, yes. And 2 religions basically we had, which were originated or which were being very popular at that time: Christianity and Islam. Okay, which 2 religions? Christianity and?
Islam.
So we are going to start from here. So we are starting from a background. Your background is all set, children. We have powerful empires where these 4 languages are being spoken. Once again, can I have the name of the languages?
Persian.
Persian, Greek, Latin, and
Yes.
Arabic.
Good. And which religion was being followed? Mainly, which we had the religion was? Which 2 religions?
Islam.
Islam. So our background is set now. We are moving further to timeline second now, 100 BC to 1300 CE. Chalo, let me do this. Children, read this. This timeline will focus on kingdoms and empires. Now we are not going to talk about small cities or towns. We are going to talk about big kingdoms, big empires. They've given you an example, Roman Empire. Which example they've taken on to tell you? A big kingdom, a big powerful empire. Which empire?
Roman Empire.
Yes, Roman Empire. It was a big empire. It spread across 3 continents. That is why it was known as a big and a powerful empire, because it spread over how many continents?
3.
Yes, Peter. Roman Empire was considered to be a very large empire because it spread across how many continents?
3.
Yes. But this time is very important. Why it is important? Many new traditions are coming up, more religious traditions are coming, and institutions became very active. Intellectual institutions, intellectual activity, writing, reading, drawing, all these intellectual activities have also emerged. Books were written and ideas traveled across continents. Because we said that the empire spread across how many continents?
3 continents.
Yes. So the ideas from one reach the other and other. So these 3 continents, lot of information, ideas, customs, traditions, everything is being exchanged. And some things that are now part of our everyday lives were used for the first time during this period. There are many things which we do today, but they started during this period only. So we are going to talk about this time when powerful kingdoms were there. Which example have we taken?
Roman
Which
Empire.
example? Yes, Peter, Roman Empire. Why is it considered to be such a huge and large empire? Because it's spread across.
3 continents.
Yes, beta. It's spread across 3 continents. A lot of things are being exchanged. Ideas, information,
Excuse
writing
me,
has
ma'am.
started. Yes, Picha.
Ma'am, here, ma'am, it is given that it was a time when institutions of intellectual activity
Yes.
emerged. Ma'am, means
See, intellectual activity is an activity which involves intellect, intelligence. Okay. For example, writing books, reading, making something artistic, or
ma'am,
making a new
emerged
invention.
meaning
Pardon, beta?
developed. Ma'am, emerged here meaning
Emerged means started off. Something emerges means it started off. So this was the first time we have in records that people started doing activities, emerges started off. We have an evidence of people. Earlier we talked about people who used to just roam about in the jungle, collect fruits, eat wild animals, wild berries. They did not know how to read and write. Okay. Now we are talking about intellectual people who use their intelligence for doing activities. They have just started. We have record of these things being emerging, that is starting. When we say intellectual activities, it could be reading, writing, drawing, making new inventions. All these things have started. Beta C, you don't have to learn all this, these dates and all, but just a little idea I'm telling you. Okay. Banana is introduced from Southeast Asia to East Africa. I was just telling you so many ideas and things moved from one continent to the other continent because Roman Empire was spread across how many continents?
3.
3. So only 1, 2, 3 common examples we will take up. Bananas, they were earlier in which Asia, which part of Asia we had?
Southeast.
Even if you cannot remember the directions, just remember the continents. We had bananas growing in Asia, and from Asia, they were taken to which continent? Africa. The idea of growing bananas was taken from which continent?
Africa. From Southeast
Taken.
Asia.
Yes, from Asia, and now the idea has reached Africa. So people started growing bananas in Africa also. This is one important thing you can remember. Second is this. Okay, Alexandria, this was a place. The person made a machine that used to run on steam. If you see, this is an again intellectual activity. Somebody has made a machine which used to work on what? Tell me. Which used to run on?
Steam.
Run on what? Steam. Like we had those earlier steam engines in trains, na? That
Yes, ma'am.
invention. See, this is all happening in Africa, if you see. Then one person, he wrote a book in geography. Is it okay? Let's have more things which are important. Some inventions which you feel that, yes, these are all intellectual activities. See over here. Production of gold and copper artifacts. Things which were made up of copper and gold. So this is again an intellectual activity. Christian churches were established. Big, huge churches were made over here. So there are so many things you will get that these are all intellectual activities which started in Africa. The idea of growing bananas, which was in Asia, spread over to which continents?
Africa.
Africa. Second intellectual activity we can talk about is what was made the first engine which used to run on?
Steam.
Yes, it was running on steams. Then we had big churches. We had coins which were made of which metal?
Copper.
Yes, gold and copper. And big churches were also made. So this tells you about what all was happening in Africa. If we go to Europe, again over here, you can take something which is easier for you to remember. Okay. Whichever you find that, yes, this will be easy for me to remember, any 3 main activities. See, Bede, a historian, has written a book. The name of the book is History of the English Church and People. What is the name of the book?
History of the English Church.
And the people. So book writing has started. This is again what? This is an intellectual activity. Most important thing is this, beta. Medical school was set up in Italy. A medical college. That means doctors in the process. Doctors are being made now. Medical science is being studied. See, such a good hi-fi intellectual activity. Medical science school set up. Where? In which place?
Europe.
Yes. In Europe, where? In Italy, beta. Okay. Come to this. A big cathedral was made. What is a cathedral? What is a cathedral? Anybody knows what is a cathedral?
Mm,
Yes. What is a cathedral? Guess.
Ma'am, it's a church, a
Yes.
Christian church.
Yes, it's a church, including the place where these people who study Christianity, the would-be mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters that we have in Christianity, it's a school for them where religious teaching is also done. And of course, people also come to pray. The big church, that's a cathedral. So these are all developments. You don't have to learn them. I'm again telling you, you don't have to learn anything. I'm just trying to tell you that this was the time intellectual activity had already started. Okay. Paper was invented in China. 3-4 things that we can remember. Okay, beta, paper was invented and tea was served in the royal courts of China. So 2 things have already started in China, which we are still using today, very common in our day-to-day life. One is the invention of paper. And the second is the usage of what as a beverage? Tea, which was a common drink which started that those days in China.
Tea.
Yes, beta. Tea. So see, this is something we are still using paper. Then we have tea. Anything else that we can see? Grand Canal to transport grains built in China. It was made by so many workers in 34 years. It took to make this big canal. And this big canal was made so that by water route, the grain could be sent out of the country. So Chinese have done a lot of development here. We talked about paper. We said they also made the magnetic compass, the use of magnetic compass by the Chinese. This also was taken up. Then we talked about they made a big, huge canal. How many years did it take to make?
34 years.
Yes, very good. And so many workers were there. Basically, why was this canal made to transport what? Basically, they did this to transport grains. What they wanted to, yes, beta, they wanted to export out grains. Now see this, the first printed book, not only handwritten books now. In China, we also have what? The first printed book. And most interestingly, the use of paper money started in China. We are still using paper money. So many things that we are using today actually originated at that time. I've given you a few examples from here. One was the discovery of paper. We are still using paper. Second is the usage of tea. We are still using tea. Then we talked about making huge canals. Are we making huge canals now? Yes. We are still making huge canals. Are we using printed books now?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we using printed books? We are still using printed books. And use of paper money. Are we using paper money?
Yes, ma'am.
One more important thing what happened is there was a Persian doctor. His name was Ibn Sina. No need to learn the name. He wrote a book made based on medical science. And this book was followed by doctors for centuries. So there they had opened a medical college. Here we had a Persian doctor, Ibn Sina. He wrote a medical book, a book on medicine science, which was followed by other doctors for centuries. See, now we come to another very important thing. First display of fireworks in China. We use fireworks on occasions like Diwali or when there is some big event at home. So this firework also, the usage of fireworks started in which country?
China.
China. In Cambodia, a huge temple was made. See over here. So these are the some important things which happen. Intellectual activities. Can all of you tell me one intellectual activity which you can remember?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Peter, we talked about so many intellectual activities. Can you all tell me at least one or two examples of intellectual activities that took place during this period?
Ma'am, book writing?
Very good. Book writing. Yes. One from others as well.
Production of gold and copper coins.
Production of gold and copper coins. Very nice. What else?
Communication between different kingdoms and kingdoms. With
Okay, fine. So these are all intellectual activities. You don't have to remember the dates. You don't have to remember the names. But you should remember that these were the important things which were happening over here. Similarly, when we talk about our country, Asia, in Southern Asia towards what was happening this side, there were important things like Gupta dynasty came, Fahin came, we had Aryabhat, the famous astronomer and mathematician. Okay, we had many Chinese travelers who were coming. And Raj Tarangani was written by Kalhana in Sanskrit. These are all literature works. What are we seeing? Okay, different forms of poetry and music came into scene. Sun temple was made at Konark. So this is all what is happening in our country at this time. Okay, see what are the important things which have happened over here. We had these coins, of course, Gupta dynasty. Then we had the famous astronomer and mathematician. Name him.
Aryabhatta.
Yes, beta, Aryabhatta. We had big temples made. We had musical instruments coming into our cult. A big writer, Sanskrit writer Kalhana, he wrote this book, Rajatarangani. Different forms of poetry and music also originated, and a huge temple was made at Konark, which still stands. Which temple?
Sun temple.
Sun temple. See, it is such an old one. This was happening in Asia. America also, if you see. Okay. See over here. This is the first city which was built in North America. Can you see the city? How well developed, well planned city this is. Okay. Something related to astronomy, development of astronomy. We are not able to decipher this properly, but we are sure that Americans were studying astronomy at that time. And see this temples we had. First city built in North America is also temples. What is this? The same thing what I told you. Try and identify at least 5 events that would have involved the movement of people across continents. 5 events you need to remember. That is all. And these 5 should be from all the continents. Sweet potato. This also originated from South America. But then it was grown in Polynesian islands. So the idea of banana, sweet potatoes, it traveled from one island to the other island. Is it okay? In this timeline, what we need to do is just remember any 5 activities, including Africa, Europe, Asia, South Asia, including everything, America, Australia, any 5 things which show that intellectual development had started. These were the 5 things which had already started. Vidya saying an empire across 3 continents. Can you guess which empire are they talking about? The next heading is empire across 3 continents. Which empire are they talking about?
Roman Empire.
Yes, Roman Empire. Because when we started, we said Roman Empire was a huge empire because it spread across how many continents?
3.
3.
3 continents. So if the heading is empire across 3 continents, obviously we are talking about Roman Empire. The Roman Empire covered a vast stretch of territory that included most of the Europe as we know it today and a large part of the Fertile Crescent in North Africa. See, most of the Europe and some parts of Africa. North Africa. So when we talk about Roman Empire, we talk about which areas? Almost the entire Europe. And which part of Africa?
North
Hmm.
America.
Yes. Please keep answering so that when later we ask each other, you should know. What are we going to do in this chapter? We look at the way the empire was organized, political forces that shaped its destiny, social groups, how the people used to live, how wealthy they were, what was the culture, what were the languages. And we'll also importantly notice one thing, that the women had a stronger legal position than they do today in many countries. So we'll talk about and we'll read how women were so strong in the Roman Empire. They had a strong position, even stronger than what we have now in many countries now also. In many Arab countries, the status that women get. If you read newspapers, you must have read that few years back, I think a year or so. Now in Arab countries, women have been allowed to drive. Driving license was not issued to women. They were not allowed to drive. Are you aware of this?
Yes, ma'am.
And in India, we have pilots. We have girls who are flying big aircrafts. Yes, recently I read in the newspaper that the longest journey, crossing all 5 continents, there was a long flight carrying passengers. And it was, I don't know, 20 hours or something. And it was crossing both the poles, Antarctica and North Pole, and 5 continents. So the crew was entire girls' crew. The pilot, the co-pilot, the attendants, the technical staff, the safety staff, everybody, it was an entire women's flight carrying passengers and a big aircraft, 520 or 525 passengers. So this is progress that we see. And the other side, we have countries where the women were not even allowed to drive 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers. They were not issued a driving license. I think it was last year that in Saudi Arab, UAE, they were allowed to drive and driving license were issued. So we'll read in this chapter how the women had a lot of power, a lot of authority at that time. Then we'll also talk about what all we are going to see in this chapter, how the economy was run, did we have slave labors, and freedom was denied to many people. It was not that it was a wonderful kingdom, everybody was happy and satisfied. Many people were not given freedom. Why they were not given, who were the people who were not given, all this we are going to study. From the 5th century on, the empire fell apart in the West. When I started the chapter, I think Snehal knows about it. Snehal, you remember the Rome was a big empire. So it was divided into 2 parts for easy ruling. Which were the 2 parts?
Eastern and the western parts.
There was some problem in the western part. What was it? Tell me.
Ma'am, the pastoralists and the herders were creating a problem and thus breaking it up, and many different pastoral tribes started coming up, and then they
Yes.
started doing it there as their own kingdoms, small kingdoms.
Very, very good. See, beta, in the western part, see, it was a huge kingdom. So they divided into 2 parts so that it could be ruled easily. In the western side, there were a lot of problems. The pastoral communities became very powerful and they became independent. So in the 5th century, we saw that the empire broke down in the west, but remained intact and exceptionally prosperous in the eastern half. Which side the Rome is still prospering? West or east? Tell
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
west. Which part it prospered? It still remained united. Western part or eastern part?
Eastern part.
Eastern part. Again, I would say the same thing because Snehal was present yesterday. She'll be able to answer. What did they call it? With whose help they could maintain the eastern part? Who helped the ruler?
Ma'am, the church.
Yes, the church helped the ruler. When people wanted to get away from the eastern part, the church interfered and they requested everybody to remain same. And in place of the Roman Empire, they called it as what?
Holy
Yes.
Roman Empire.
Yes.
Holy Roman Empire.
Holy Roman Empire. So before we start, let's be very clear about it, that the entire Roman Empire was divided into 2 areas because it was such a huge empire, 3 continents. It was not easy to rule. So for administration purpose, West and East, West is almost gone because most of the small rulers, they have become independent. So whatever we are going to study, whatever is being prospering and moving ahead, is which part? Is the western half or eastern half?
Eastern half.
Yes. So let us read about this. What is this? We'll guess and then we'll read about this. First I'll explain, then I'll ask you. Roman historians have a rich collection of sources to go on, which we can broadly divide into 3 groups. What are the sources of Roman history? Number 1 is text, number 2 is documents, and number 3 is material remains. Okay, children? Listen, then I'll ask a few questions after I explain. Textual sources include history of the periods written by the contemporaries. People used to write the history. They were known as textual sources. They were also called as annals. What were these called? Textual sources?
Annals.
Annals. The word annal is actually the word annual. Annual means yearly. Everybody knows. So year to year basis, they used to write history. This year history in one book, next year history in another book. That is why these textbooks or these textual sources of history were called what? Tell me, they were called annals. What were they called?
Annals.
Yes.
They were
Letters were there, sermons were there, laws were there. What are sermons? Peter, when the priest gives a moral lecture in the church, that is what we call as a sermon. What is it called?
Sermon.
So speeches were there of kings and leaders, sermons of the Pope or the church, laws were there. So this is the first source, that is your textual source. Second is your documentary source. Let's talk about these documentary sources. They include inscriptions and papyri. Let's come back and read. Yes. See this part, documentary sources. Inscriptions were usually cut on stone. So a large number survive in both Greek and Latin. We still have a lot of inscriptions as an evidence of history because they were written on what material?
stones.
Stones. Speak out, Beta. They were written on stones. There were 2 words we said when we started. One was these and the second was the papyrus. What is papyrus? This picture. Let's relate it. It's a reed-like plant that grows along the banks of the Nile in the Egypt. So this is a plant which used to grow across on the side of which river?
Nile in Egypt.
Yes, it used to grow in the river Nile in Egypt, and it was used as a writing material, used in everyday life. This was used for writing. Okay, what was this called?
Papyrus.
Papyrus. Thousands of contracts, accounts, letters, official documents survive on papyrus and have been published by scholars who are called papyrologists. So those who study these and give us details about what all is written on papyrus. Okay, what are these people called as?
Papyrologist.
Papyrologist. These materials include a very wide assortment of items, mainly archaeological discover. For example, excavations and field survey. We have got so many of them. For example, buildings, monuments, other kinds of structures, pottery. This comes in the third category, that is material remains. Text was that material which was written. Documents, we talked about 2 types of documents, either on the stone or on this material, that is papyrus. And the third source of history was material remains. It could be pottery, it could be coins, mosaics, okay, these kind of things. We have got mosaic means a combination of different designs and colors. If you go to old houses, like these days we have tiles on the floors. But in old houses, if you have ever been to your parents, grandparents' house or something, you must have seen a floor which has white dots, white spots, white and brown and white and black spots. Have you ever seen that flooring? Mosaic flooring. That flooring is known as mosaic flooring. So mosaic means a combination of different designs and colors. So we had different pieces where we had a combination of different designs made, different colors were made, and landscape, beautiful sceneries were made. Each of these sources can only tell us so much about the past, and combining them can be a fruitful exercise. If we combine everything, we'll get a lot of knowledge about what happened at that time. But before I go ahead, I'm giving you a minute to read this paragraph, and then I'll ask you a few questions. Quickly read it up. Okay, when you're ready, you let me know. Let's see. And plan 2 questions. You'll be asking each other. Once you read, also plan 2 questions better. Finish reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, can we ask questions? Who will ask first? Or should I only ask? Okay, let me only ask. You people
Mhm.
answer. The Roman Empire was divided into how many halves for better administration?
Two.
Yes, it was 2 halves. Name the 2 halves.
Eastern and the Western.
Yes, eastern half and the western half. Which half deteriorated? The kingdom disintegrated. It was no more powerful. Which half?
Western half.
Western half. Very good. Which half prospered and continued to remain as a great kingdom?
Eastern half.
Yes, Peter, it was the eastern half. Now we move further. There are 3 main sources from where we get important information about the Roman kingdom. Which is the first one?
Texts.
Yes, it is texts. Give me example. Any one example of a text? What all was there?
They were the annals, such as letters, laws.
Yes. Why were they called annals? Anjali,
Ma'am,
Yes,
why were they called annals?
ma'am, because they include the histories of the period.
year by year.
Oh, no, Snehal, why were they called annals?
And because the way it was written, the way the narrative was constructed was by year and year basis. Every year new additions were added.
Yes, annually. We use the word annually, so it was done year by year, so we call them as annals. Okay. Which was the second evidence that we have?
Documents.
Documents.
Documents. What all documents have been recovered?
Inspirations and
Yes. What happened? Only one child, Anushri, is speaking today. What happened to Snehal? Every day you speak and give answers. Today you're giving entire chance to Anushri only to speak. And which is the third one? Third evidence? Quickly.
Material remains.
Okay. What all material artifacts have been recovered?
Buildings,
Yes.
pottery, coins,
Okay,
and mosaics.
good. Tell me, papyrus, a plant. It used to grow on the banks of which river?
Nile.
In Egypt.
It used to grow on Nile. There were certain people who used to research and write on papyrus and study. What were these people called as?
Papyrologist.
Yes, they were called as papyrologists. So all the source that we are going to read about the Roman Empire, that this happened, that happened, this was empire, we have got this information mainly from three sources. Once again, very quickly, name the three sources.
Text,
Text,
document.
documents, and material remains.
Yes, begin. So we are going to study about them. See, beta, we have read this. At that time, we had two very powerful empires. One was Rome. We've already discussed, and the second was Iran. Name the two most powerful empires at that time.
Rome and Iran.
Okay. Since there were only two empires, they used to keep on fighting with each other. Continuously, these two empires kept on fighting with each other because these were the only two powerful empires that we had. So the Romans and the Iranians were rivals, okay, dushman, and they fought against each